Krab. Hi, my name is Pisate Virangkabutra, or you can call me Jet. I'm an adjunct lecturer at the School of Global Studies at Thammasat University and an innovation consultant. Today, on behalf of Thailand One Health University Network, I'll be talking about a course called Design and Planning for Entrepreneurial Solutions and Social Innovation for OH Problems Practice. Let's start. So in this course, you will learn the concept of social innovation and design thinking, and also design thinking process and principles, and design thinking research planning. So we'll start with the definition of social innovation, which means social and plus innovation. So what is it? It's actually a novel solution that tackles societal problems to make it more efficiency, more effective, and more just, and importantly, sustainable than the existing ones that we have now, which the value that it creates goes to the society rather than monetary value that goes to the individual. And innovation, a lot of times, comes out of necessity and crisis. Like this, it's like a water problem in Africa. They created the live straw, so bring people to the source of water and you can drink it directly. And I'd like to introduce you to this Muhammad Yunus's Grameen Bank. It's a bank for the poor. So basically, the concept is instead of banks usually will only lend to people who can't afford to borrow, he focuses his bank on poor people, mainly women, so that women can get loans and then be productive with the loans that they've got instead of it's a personal loan when you go out and buy a motorbike or a car, which really help to alleviate poverty. And how does this work? You have three important factors here. One is the social entrepreneur, one is the social enterprise, and one is the social innovation. And we want to focus more on the social innovation part. So the type of social innovation that design can contribute to have four things: product, process, policy, and service. Let's look at the product. For example, this is a marker pad that helps alleviate the problem of young girls can't go to school because they have their period. And this is a low-cost local wisdom product that uses women in the community to produce them at a lower price to help with problems of having periods and they can't go to school. And this is in Uganda. And this is the process innovation for a program called Divine Divas in Zambia. So they created a nail salon to get young girls to come and talk about contraception so that they can help manage unplanned pregnancies when they're young. And they came up with this nail salon that also helps like young girls and explain to them what contraception suits them. And it was very successful. Or this one is a policy innovation by an organization called Taxi, the Australian Centre for Social Innovation. So the program actually tackles problems of migrants coming into a community by using people from the local community to help guide them through the community and introduce them to the people in the communities. And it really helped them to solve problems of being ostracized by people in the area. And it was so successful that other states actually took this idea and implemented it in their own communities. Or this is a care for product service system. It's a waste management system that feeds waste into the incineration plant for local communities in Thailand. And it was designed based on a whole system of collection and gaining points so you can use the points to actually purchase stuff from the community as well. It's an incentive for them to actually separate waste. So design, originally it's to differentiate, and that's product innovation. But in this course, we're talking about design to make a difference, which is social innovation. And what is design thinking? Design thinking is part of what we call human-centered design. It's a creative approach to problem solving that by understanding human experiences to inspire new possibilities. So it's about researching people and their experiences and what are their pain points and delights to come up with new ideas. And this is design thinking. It starts with a squiggle, and it's called the fuzzy front end because you want to start fuzzy by creating choice and converging choice. So we look at wide areas so that we can come up with better solutions and more solutions and alternative solutions before we converge. And this is what a design thinking process looks like. It starts with inspiration, looking wide, gather different perspectives to identify user needs and come up with ideas, generate lots and lots of ideas, come up with a final solution, implement it by testing it before you launch it. And it suits well with the fuzzy front end. But design thinking actually has three important factors. One is desirability, which is people. Second is technology, feasible, how we can use the technology to solve problems. And third is viability, which is business. And business is how you can sustain whatever you're doing. And three key traits of design thinking is human-centered. So we ask the question, who first? By going into the fields, going into talk to them in their context. And discovering meaning means that we want to understand what it means for them to do something. And lastly, iterative. We do it over and over again. We don't test just once, we test it again, and we test it again, and we come with more and more ideas. And the research approaches between traditional market research and human-centered design research is one, actually improves existing things with predefined questions and pointed and specific hypotheses. And it's done in a controlled setting and relying on memory. And it has 100 or even thousands of data points. And let's look at human-centered design. It inspires new possibilities, dynamic dialogue, and evolving hypotheses. So if we see something new and we discover something new along the way, we'll change our hypothesis. And it's in context, natural settings. It uses observation and interviews. And we only do 8 to 12 immersive interviews. We go deep with very small groups of people. So, and this is like a success case for design thinking by asking how might we. So we start from like kids are really scared of the MRI. The doctor said we feel sorry for them because kids are scared. So how might we improve the experience for kids going through MRI? By iterating. So let's make it a fun journey like a pirate on a ship or princess in a castle. In the end, it came out with like a theme MRI. So kids are not scared and they have fun with it. So they're not scared going into the MRI, so they don't need to be sedated. It was very successful. And 6 principles of design thinking. One is reason with empathy, be narrative, think experientially, build to think, optimistic, and challenge assumptions. And we'll go through into it now. So you need to understand people. And we look for the adaptations and workarounds so we can solve problems. Second, we think about the stories. And the people's stories actually inspire us to design. So we find inspiration by going into the field, going into people's house to learn about their problems. We build to think, we prototype things. So we test things all the time to make sure that they work. Next is we think experientially. We look at experience from people from like leaving home to go to work or go to the hospital and come back. That's what we mean by think experientially. We think about the whole experience from beginning to end. And we think optimistically. We ask what if, we don't ask what's wrong. Again, we challenge assumptions, like we talked about before in the MRI case. So practical tools to be used in this course. We don't only teach concepts. And these are some of the tools that we teach. Creation of design challenge. It kickstarts the project like a research question. We have an iceberg model, which identify underlying issues. We have stakeholder mapping, identify users that are part of the system. and then user research planning by mapping users to be researched through the user research strategy. So, for example, this is a tool. We take you step by step to create a design challenge, which will help you to catapult you into doing the project. And this is what we call the iceberg model. We look at the underlying problems. So we don't just look at what's on top, but we look at what's down below that we need to find out to solve the problem. And this is a stakeholder map. We look at like who's involved in the issue so that we can make sure that we can research and talk to them and learn from them. And finally, the user research planning. We need to interview and talk to people. So we map out and use this table so we can see who's important and who should we talk to. So that's it for the course. So hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you.